The first Last of Us is often regarded as one of the greatest games of all time. It raised the bar for emotional storytelling to levels never seen before. It wasn't just a story about survival, but about love, loss, and the complicated moral lines people cross in desperate times, with this often making it an instant classic in the eyes of many. So naturally, when The Last of Us Part 2 was announced, expectations were once again through the roof. People weren't just hoping for a great sequel, they were expecting another generation defining masterpiece. And that's part of why the eventual backlash was so intense. At this point, I think it's fair to say that The Last of Us Part 2 was a mess. Not in terms of technical quality, but in storytelling execution. The pacing felt erratic, the structure disjointed, and the constant interruptions from flashbacks often killing the momentum of the main narrative. Then came the infamous mid-game twist. The decision to force players to switch perspectives from Ellie to Abby, the very character who brutally murdered one of the most beloved figures in gaming history. It was a bold choice, I'll give them that, but for many players, it simply didn't land. Naughty Dog seemed to forget that players bring their own personal emotions and biases into whatever game they're playing, and they underestimated how much emotional investment players had in Joel, and how difficult it would be to ask them to empathize with his killer just hours after witnessing his death. Ellie's character arc in The Last of Us Part 2 also drew heavy criticism. The wisecracking, foul-mouthed, endlessly curious girl who always managed to make the world feel a little brighter, the one who brought energy, humor, and personality into every room she walked into, felt noticeably absent this time around. In the first game, Ellie was the hopeful, determined force of light who could bring warmth into even the bleakest moments, someone who persevered no matter how cruel or unforgiving the world became. But in the sequel, that version of Ellie felt almost unrecognizable. Instead of that resilient spark, we were met with a version of Ellie consumed entirely by vengeance and rage. While it makes sense that grief would harden her after everything she's lost, the transformation felt so extreme that it seemed to strip away the very essence of who Ellie was. The compassion, humor, and humanity that once defined her appeared overshadowed, even replaced by anger, leaving many players feeling as though the core of her character had been lost in the process. Now, to be fair, Part 2 still had moments of brilliance, visually stunning sequences, tight and satisfying gameplay, and flashes of emotional depth that were well acted. But its story suffered from poor direction and uneven execution. And unfortunately, with story-based games, if the story isn't good, the game isn't good.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, can't deny that view.